Okay, so I'm live. That's what it says. I've never done this before. I am Magic Uni. I've never done this before in this platform. So I guess I'll give a little bit of a background before I do my thing. So I recently have been divorced and I started this process where I speak out loud. I've never been this alone in my life for this period of time. So it's really interesting. I hope having Taylor in the background is not a copyright infringement. See, I'm so new to this. I don't know. I usually just talk into my phone and speak on recording so I can catalog my life. Don't know why I'm doing it other than I'm pulled or propelled to do it. So here I am. I'm usually in my kitchen, right? Um, Having a beer, wine, or smoking some weed. Not all the time. So yeah, I started doing this as a coping mechanism of sorts for life. And I'm like, well, why not share my experience? As they say in the rooms, experience, strength, and hope. I'm no longer sober by choice. But those of you who are, congratulations, what a major achievement and milestone. I got to turn Taylor down. So basically, what I've been doing to process information is kind of feeling compelled to speak about whatever's on my heart. And so I've been doing that in my home. And like I said, it's been very helpful. So I don't know. I guess what happens typically is that it's almost like a channeling of sorts. Like I process information. I move through many different things. I'll think one thing and then another thought comes in and I'll get off of this thought and move to that thought. But somehow magically, hopefully magically, in this God, because it's live. I mean, shit never goes right when you go live with shit, right? So whatever. I'm gonna be like hopefully not self-conscious that this is actually recording me, instead of me like speaking blindly into my phone. Being very vulnerable, which is something I've never been this vulnerable in life before in many areas, whether it's welcomed vulnerability or if I'm living in a fishbowl of sorts, vulnerability, with privacy being invaded upon. I mean, that perhaps is a conversation for another time. However, so recently divorced, I was with my person for the better part of 12-ish years. They might, question the dates, but it was 12-ish years. And I was the one who initiated the divorce. Deep love and respect for this person. However, I realized that self-love and respect was, well, we'll just say self-love, okay? The respect part was not an issue in the marriage. I don't think. I don't know. I don't know a lot, by the way. I do know a lot, but I don't know a lot. So the marriage ended in August of 24 because of me ending it. And we each went our separate ways. And so here I am in this amazing house, living on my own for like the first time in a really long time. And finally really getting to know myself. Like, I mean, I see it. Here's my little mermaid impression. Woo! I thought I knew myself, but oh my gosh, like the last 5 months have been very challenging because of some issues. Issues that sounds so like ugh. Because of instances in my life that have shown me how to love myself with great fierceness, how to trust in a higher power, divine God, whatever you want to call it. It's all energy source, right? Um, I don't like to put labels on things, and put things in boxes, including self. I don't like to label myself, but I mean, how do we identify things in this life if we don't like put a label on them? That's a deep one though. So I hope you all can keep along if anyone ever comes across this video, because I never go back and listen to the things that I do. I have a whole phone full of random thoughts, notes, blah, 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 blah. And I have yet to go and listen back to any one of them. So I don't know. And half the time, like I said, half the time I've been stoned. So I don't even know. Not a clue. Not a fucking clue. And by the way, I do swear. It's just who I am. Take it, leave it, whatever. So divorced. It moves really quickly, which many things in my life do move at a rapid pace. But I knew that I'm not even sure why I'm speaking about this, but that's how I uncover things. So I'm just gonna follow it, and this is deeply personal. And just like that, the thought moves out. So personal, marriage, things moved quickly. I found this place, things just kind of lined up serendipitously, synchronistically. And if I don't ever speak a word appropriately, it's either I've mispronounced it wrong or I just make up new shit. I don't know. I wrote down a new word the other day that I made up. So everything moved quickly. So after being with somebody for that long of a time, who went through immense change with me, was an incredibly loving person, nothing wrong with the person. It's just for me, because that's my perspective is the only one that I'm able to completely tell. I can't tell you what person A, B, or whatever thinks, feels. They have to do that. So for me, it just was, we weren't compatible in a lot of different ways. And I didn't realize how suppressed I was. And it's nothing to do with the other person. They weren't deliberately like holding me down, telling me, no, you can't do this and you can't do that. They were very loving, understanding. It's just, there was an energy, there was something I'm still processing. And I think that's why I'm doing this a lot, because I'm really still am processing what happened. Like, where did I go? Like, I got so lost. Where the fuck did I go? Right? I don't know. I don't know what happened to me, but somewhere, maybe the whole time, maybe most of the time, maybe a little bit of the time, I got lost. Like, literally, my soul, I was fucking dying. And it had nothing to do with the person. Seriously, I wish them well, and they deserve the world. It's just not with me. And it broke my heart to end my marriage. I will never forget the night I did that. And there's some details I'm going to hopefully keep private for now. But yeah, like, I cried that night when I said, like, I can't do this anymore. I cried much like the way I did when my brother died. It's just, you're grieving like everything. And I'm going to throw up a disclaimer. In the beginning of the marriage, I was unfaithful. So in a sense, I think I made my own doom, if you will, for lack of better wording. I created a wound that could not ever be healed, in a sense that I needed it to be healed. This is incredibly personal. So I'm like, do I really want to share this? And it's not out of respect for myself, because I don't mind sharing it. It's out of respect for the other person who, God forbid, well, maybe not God forbid, but people will see this and know who I'm talking about. So I'm going to do my very best to keep it always in my feeling. But I cheated on my spouse with somebody else. Went through a lot of therapy, a lot of trauma work, worked through all of that. We're going to keep this part short. Spouse and I had a conversation around the situation. I finally acknowledged it. I finally admitted to it. I was afraid she was going to leave me. Yes, it was a girl. I was married to a girl. Open to anybody, by the way. I don't put myself in a box. I don't label. I see people as people and a soul as a soul. So that's where I don't like labels, because I'm a person who loves another person or people or whoever. So anyways, do you see how I get lost? Like, do other people do that? Do other people do the same thing? Because it's like, I'll just have a thought and then a thought and a thought, and then I'll forget where I was. And then I've never been diagnosed with anything, by the way. Mental health professionals. No, seriously, I've never been diagnosed. So I don't know. This is a newness for me because it'll all tie back in together somehow, I hope. Otherwise, enjoy. This is me completely vulnerable and unfiltered, and whatever the fuck happens, happens. And I'm just gonna put it out there and say, fuck it. I don't give a shit anymore. Because I've never talked this much. I've never been this open. With my spouse, I didn't feel like there was something that was lacking. I don't know what it is. If it was my own doing of, cheating on her, and kind of wrecking that marriage. Like, even though I owned my behavior, I changed my behavior. I did all the work. I did the therapy. I grew. She grew. So we both did our part and we came together. But I think there are some things people just can't get over. And that is 1,000,000% okay. We gave it our best shot. I mean, I gave it my best shot. I gave it every fucking thing I had. But in the end, it was killing me to stay. And I didn't know it. I didn't know why I was like being pushed down energetically. I don't know if, I don't think that the marriage was the only thing that needed to be healed. This is healing for me. So I've never talked this much in my life. The other day, I talked on my phone for an hour and a half. I don't think I've ever talked that long to anyone, including myself. And non-fucking stop. I'm not joking. It's wild. I mean, do other people do this? Like, do y'all do this? I don't know. I know people talk to themselves, but I've seen people on TikTok where they're around the house, they're doing shit and just talking and like, having full blown conversations. And that's why I was like, oh my God, what a great therapeutic tool, right? It's incredible. The insight, the feedback, even though it's from myself in a weird way, it's not. I'm very spiritual. I will talk about God. I will talk about all of that in the realm of witchiness and God and spirituality, religion, respect to you. I don't speak about religions. I feel like we're all connected to a source, and whatever you define as your spirituality, your religion, your whatever that is for you, that's for you. I just use umbrella of spirituality, and I call it God, universe, fucking trees, flowers, whatever. Okay. And I got lost. See, it's almost embarrassing how I get so lost. So we're just going to keep talking and see if I can find my way back. And I hear Taylor a lot of the times when music is playing, I do tend to shift focus because I do listen to music a lot. Music is like the language of life to me. It's incredible. So marriage, talking, my landlord, I'm pretty sure that they can hear me talk to myself all the time. I promise you, you don't need to 5150 me, okay? I am of sound body and mind. All property that is used in this house is intellectual property and only publishable by myself. Unless I guess on YouTube and shit like that, you can repost or reshare or whatever, right? But basically, so what I'm trying to say is that talking out loud has been an incredible tool. These last 5 months have been I would say the most incredibly difficult, the most challenging, the most incredibly rewarding, life changing. It's been a roller coaster, but I tell you what, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And that's saying a fucking lot if you know my internal life, which you don't, but it's saying a lot. I wouldn't trade anything, not even one piece of my life. And that's saying a lot. I've been through some shit, as we all have. We're all human. We all share these experiences. Well, we don't maybe share them, or maybe we do, but we all have experiences in life that shape us who we are. I mean, I'm no stranger to childhood trauma, right? We all grow up. We all are fucking born as a baby, unless there's something going on in the world. I don't know. I mean, we all is AI growing like adult people? I don't know about. That's coming, I'm sure. So, we all come from somewhere, and my intent in life is to treat people with kindness, love, and respect, compassion, all the good shit, all the good verbiage, right? I'm no fucking perfect person. I get angry, I get mad, I get sad, but I don't think I have ever wished anything ill of somebody, any bad whatever on somebody. Like, we're all just living this life, right? And trying to get over probably shit that happened. I mean, I don't know what it was everyone else's like childhood and shit growing up like. I mean, Leave It to Beaver, like do y'all live like the Cleavers? There's different levels of healthy, and it's not saying anything about my immediate family or extended family or anybody. I'm not even speaking about about my trauma at this point. I'm just saying we all come from somewhere, whether that's viewed on the outside as an easy life or a difficult life, because I certainly have had it better than other people, and I've certainly have had it worse than other people. But it doesn't make me any less or any better than anybody else. So that's why I always want to be kind and compassionate to people. I don't always know what to do in situations. I don't always know how to respond. I'm so incredibly not perfect. And I love that. I love that I can just be me. And that ties me into being authentically me, being fucking single. Dude, like, seriously, I haven't been this me in my entire life. This is the most fucking me I've been in my entire life. And it's incredible. Like, I don't okay, so let me backtrack. I got sober in 2010, right? Newly not sober in 2024 by choice. I've healed a lot. I don't feel like that is part of my life anymore. I appreciate what the rooms gave me, the people they gave me. I appreciate that life, but that life isn't for me anymore. And I'm dealing with it in a very healthy, positive way. And I know, it gets looked at in the rooms of, oh, you can't do that and this and that. Well, I mean, I can. It's my life. I choose to. But I've had it happen in my life where people have chosen who did like pain pills, like shit like that, like drugs. Drugs. Stay away from drugs, kids. So that did drugs, not alcohol, right? And then they started drinking socially, and that's how I was feeling. Like I felt like I was living a life that wasn't meant for me anymore, and it had nothing to do with the person. And it's very sad, incredibly sad, because I do care for this person more than they'll ever know. And I did it with the most respect and love that I could possibly do. I gave it my everything to give compassion to this person and to try to mitigate heartbreak. But fuck, we all got to feel our feelings, right? I can't feel anyone else's feelings for them. So anyways, this leads me back to being single and being in my own environment and just discovering who the fuck I am. And why is this not a thing? Why are we not taught as babies and children that everything is every fucking thing? I don't know. Maybe the world is changing. I don't know. I don't have any children. I'm not opposed to dating anybody with children, a guy or a girl. I'm not opposed to dating anybody with children, no matter the age. It just wasn't in the cards for me this lifetime to have them physically or adopt. I mean, I know there's still time I can adopt, but no, I'm okay, especially with my freedom right now. I'm just enjoying it. So, yeah, see, do you see my mind just goes? So, children, I got to backtrack. Space, authenticity. So when I was growing up, looking back, I didn't know it then because, when you're in shit, you don't realize it. Like I've been so guided and protected my whole life, and I'm so incredibly blessed. I just have to say that. I'm very blessed, very protected and guided. And half the time, I don't know what the fuck is going on, to be honest with you. I really don't. I'm just like flowing through life. I know what I like to do. I know what, hobbies and shit like that I like to do. And, schedule wise and whatnot, but we're just flowing through life. So for me to have this time to reflect and be just who the fuck I want to be without any influence, it's priceless. Like, oh my God. And, whether my neighbors can see me or hear me, or my landlord can see me or hear me, It's like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a flying fuck who hears me or sees me. Like, I'll walk to the window and like, I'm so at a level of I don't give a fuck anymore about shit that's out of my control. Like, I have control over myself, my well-being, my emotional, spiritual well-being, right? My body. So it's just really incredibly fascinating, the growth I've gone through in these last 5 months. And oh my God, like, I don't even recognize myself, like, in a lot of ways. I mean, physically, I think I still like look like myself, but um, I'm embracing the changes. Like, I am a triathlete and a runner. Obviously, running is included in that, but it is a different. If you know, you know. I mean, running for me is freedom. But when I do triathlon, it's like everyone will ask, well, hey, what's your favorite discipline? And it's like, well, okay, so we have swim, bike, run, you have nutrition, you have weightlifting. Then you have, especially if you're training for Ironman, um, you have your family and like work. And it's like, so you have all these disciplines you're fucking juggling, right? So what's my favorite discipline? When I do triathlon, it's like when I'm in it, if I'm swimming, I fucking love it. If I'm biking, I'm in it, I fucking love it. Same with running. But if I'm just like being me, like I have been, like without no discipline, no schedule, even though LA Marathon is coming up in March in like almost a month away, dude. And I haven't trained, and it's going to be like, fuck it. I'll just show up and do whatever I can do. I know, I don't advise that at all. I really don't. Don't do that. Excuse me, I need to take a drink. So, running. So, I've been going through a lot of spiritual shifts. I believe it's Kundalini Awakening since, we'll say September-ish of 24. That died down, and now I'm coming through the tail end of another awakening. See, I told you it shifts a lot. So I don't know. I don't even know how this looks as an outsider. I just know I'm just speaking my heart. I'm speaking what's on my mind, and I'm processing shit at the same time. So I did go through a spiritual awakening, and I will tell you, it was incredibly fucking painful. Actually, it was in August, because I was still with my spouse, my ex-spouse, and who is a Reiki master, very good. Um, but the pain in my body, it was very intense. Um, Maybe that might be a whole nother conversation. And seeing now my mind is totally focused on that and that whole experience, because it was so incredible. But I think I was talking about feelings and being in space and being authentically me. So I wonder, I mean, am I ready for another partner? I don't truly even know that. I really don't. I question that. I mean, I really don't know. I believe, this is what I believe. I believe that I'm taking care of myself. I believe I'm doing everything I can for my self-care, my self-evolution. I'm doing everything. It's me and it's God. It's me and it's God. And like I said, that's not a religious thing. It's just God, spirit, and that's God is how I refer to the creator, the energy of everyone, right? So it's me and it's God. I trust me and I trust God, and that's pretty much the fuck it. People are fallible. People will let you down, and that's okay. Because, like I said, we're all just human living this fucking life on this ball flying through space. And then that's another conversation, right? Let's talk about, I don't even know what's going on in the world, because I stopped watching the news. I stopped watching regular programming. Thank you, Taylor Swift, by the way, for showing me how to live an authentic life in a lot of different ways. So that's another podcast channel thing, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I don't know what's going on in the world. I hear there's aliens, and I hear there's pods, and there's this and there's that. Great. I'm very excited for the aliens to come because there is life. I mean, we're not the only fucking people. Well, maybe we are the only people, but we're not the only life forms in the universe. And how vast, by the way, for all my like science people, how big is space? It's unquantifiable, right? I mean, there's no end to it, right? Which is wildly, incredibly fascinating. I would love to like look that up right now because I'm very curious about it. But think about it, like space, like we don't even know. Like, where's the fucking end of it? It's infinite, right? Infinity. I have an infinite symbol. Here's Taylor. Sorry. That was, she's so adorable. So I don't know where I was going with the alien life because now I'm stuck on Taylor. And this all ties back to growing up and being authentic and God, I hope this is making sense. And if not, sorry, not sorry. I mean, I'm trying something new. And I'm not going to be embarrassed, ashamed, or guilted or feeling bad for that. I am trying something new. So yay me. I should be very proud, and I am fucking proud of myself for doing something new. I don't know who this is gonna, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who is ever gonna see that. And that's, I'm not doing it for anybody else but me because I'm curious about it. And that's how I live my life. I'm just curious about things. I'm not into what these people are doing here or over there. Like, you know, if I hear something that sounds good and I vibe with it, yeah, maybe I want to like hang out and join. Or if I don't like the vibe, no, thank you. Enjoy your life. Be well. Namaste, motherfuckers. I mean, I don't know. Like, no disrespect to anybody. I'm just messing around. I'm just like goofy like that. But so Taylor Swift. I mean, do we even need to give her a last name? Like, right? Okay. So she has been ridiculed in the media over the years, and just the last months having her essence, like kind of knowing a little bit. I don't know in detail what she went through, but knowing that, you know, people have she's had issues with people in her life, and that's been very public. Seeing how I don't even know how she dealt with it, but seeing the type of person she is, she's authentic. She doesn't, it's like, fuck you, I'm going to be myself. And so that's exactly how I feel. Like, I spent my whole life, most of my life, not my whole life, but most of my life, not authentically me. I mean, I don't see it from that perspective. If you ask people along different journeys in my lifetime, they will probably say that I was fun and bubbly and blah, 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 blah. But I guess I feel a sense of freedom in my life now. I mean, help me out. Does anybody understand what I'm even saying? Because it's like, it's just an incredible sense of freedom. There's got to be a better word. I know there's a more impactful, heartfelt word, but I just don't know, because the way I feel it in my body, it's like no word or words will convey what it feels like. I know what it feels like for me to feel free. It's mind blowing. See, there's no words. So I am curious. Anybody else, do you feel things so deeply that you just can't? You just can't. And Taylor says it best in her song about You're in Love. It's like, spent my whole life trying to put it into words. That's how I feel things. Which is wildly fascinating, because years ago when I was in therapy, I couldn't feel shit. My therapist, very intuitive, amazing. That woman is an angel sent to heal people. She showed me how to love myself. So she would be able to feel what I was feeling in my body. I was so disconnected and disassociating half the time. I didn't know what the fuck was up. I mean, I was bumbling through life thinking everything's fine. Meanwhile, I mean, my behavior is not fine. I'm an asshole. I'm not treating others well. And I'm self-destructing, basically, right? Even though I was sober at the time. I mean, I was newly 2-3-ish years sober. But anyone who has been sober knows that that's just the beginning. The stopping of the substance or whatever you're addicted to is just, that's just stopping. That's not doing any work. I mean, no. And I hope, God, like, I know we're not supposed to like, God, something about whatever the rules of the 12-step meetings are, but I mean, this is my life, so I'm going to speak it authentically. But so there's the 12 steps and the 4th step and doing the inventory. So I did all that and I did it incredibly thoroughly. I wanted to know why the fuck was I the way I was. Like I've always been, I guess, I think on this journey of self-discovery. I've wanted to know myself, but I didn't know myself. And even doing all that work, I would sit at the table and do my step work for 10 hours a day. I'm dedicated. When I'm in, I'm fucking all in. I don't give a shit what it is. And that's, as of late, I'm having trouble because I have so many different things I like to do. So I'm having a hard time splitting up my time. And that's one of the reasons why I think I'm not running and lifting like I'll leave it at that. Because right now I'm not sure where I'm at in the spectrum of, do I really want to or do I not want to? Like somewhere in the middle is a good place to fall, but I'm not sure what that looks like. So I'm navigating it. And with that explanation, I have lost the purpose of what I was speaking about. So weightlifting, running, yeah. Gosh, I'm like, do y'all do this? Because this happens a lot, especially when I'm just talking out loud with nobody to like give feedback and say, yeah, that's what you were saying. So let me take another drink and think about it. Authentic. Taylor. Anyways, I've lost the thread. This bowl is almost out of I almost said yarn. I guess does yarn come in spools? I guess so. I was thinking thread though because I was pulling out the thread, right? That reminds me of that movie, a little tiny cat nipples. Mon Petit. I watched that movie the other day. It's funny. Yeah. So thanks for listening, and this was interesting. Let me see if I can figure out how to end stream.